Hello again. Today we're talking about Alfred the Great. Alfred the Great's, should we say, time comes at that same point we were talking about in the previous lesson, where Vikings are invading Britain because Britain is generally the place where they can get everything they want. Gold, food, farmland, better way of life. Vikings want it. And they're coming over to Britain and they are succeeding at invading Britain. They managed to take over York. They managed to take over pretty much everywhere that they stand in. They are killing, taking over, setting up fortifications and warring with the Anglo-Saxons. Now, in 871, a 22-year-old man called Alfred is the son of a king of an area called Wessex. You can see it on this page next to me, but Wessex is this bottom area of Britain. He goes to fight against the Vikings and actually is fairly successful at battling them. The thing is, the Vikings are, as you can see by the map, kind of storming to westwards, kind of moving from Norway and Scandinavia down across Britain, looking like they're going to take over the entire country. But in 878, Alfred wins a fairly particular battle called the Battle of Edington. And it's the first time, should we say, the Vikings saw a massive defeat at the sake of the Anglo-Saxons. Alfred beat the Vikings outright, and the Vikings agreed to stop taking over Britain. They agreed to stop their invasion. They agreed to peace terms. The peace terms included basically two things. One, you'd convert to Christianity, and two, that there would be a split. The Vikings would stop trying to take over the entirety of Britain. They would get half, and the Anglo-Saxons would get half. This Viking half was called the Dane Law, and it's the purple bit you can see above my head. This area essentially became an extension of Scandinavia. People used Scandinavian words. Things like Thursday is named after Scandinavia's areas that end in the word thwaite, and Thorpe. If you've ever gone to Yorkshire, there's loads of them. You can see Manchester is not included in that, but this area of Britain became very different. These cultures and language and ideals of another group of people moved into Britain in 878, this area of Dane Law. Now the thing is, Alfred became quite reputable because he defeated the Vikings in battle. He actually was seen as an overlord of all the other Anglo-Saxon kings, and essentially he became the king of Britain at this point, a king of England, right? And the thing is, he was quite important with that. He decided that he wanted everyone to learn. He wanted everyone to learn how to read and write. This is quite a big deal for 878. No one really knows how to read and write. He used, should we say, the laws he found most just from other kingdoms, and he decided to, should we say, bring those into Britain to make Britain a more just country. He was also quite responsible for a thing called burrs. Really weird word. You'll have to look up the spelling. But the burrs, he put up these, should we say, these like structures that were to try and stop the Vikings invading or fighting against the Anglo-Saxons ever again, and those were later changed to become castles. We'll get to that in a bit. But this Alfred the Great is seen as someone that changes Britain, and that might be the reason why he's got that title, the Great, but you have your own assumption about whether he deserves that title. The thing is, Alfred does die, and a few other members of his family take over, a guy called Athelstan and a guy called Edgar the Peaceful. Now, I personally don't think you need to know super loads about them, but feel free to read as much as you need to. But I want you to look through the textbook to be able to answer these questions. You can answer a few of them from me, but you should look in the textbook to answer these questions to catch up. See, 1. Why were many Vikings keen to move to Britain? 2. What did the Vikings begin to do in Britain once they arrived? 3. What was special about Alfred, King of Wessex? 4. What were the terms of Alfred's peace deal? 5. What was the Dane Law? 6. Why is Alfred remembered fondly as the Great? And 7. What happened after Alfred? I'll leave those to you, but the textbook pages, again, I'm going to reiterate, are on your team's pages. The overall ones, the year 10, year 11 ones, not the history ones, please. Find the information, use it, catch yourself up. All right, good luck.